If you're dating after 40 and you keep attracting Mr. Unavailable on repeat, and what you really want is lasting love with Mr. Right, you're in the right place. In this episode, we'll dive into releasing old heartbreak so you can welcome Mr. Right with open arms. Let's get started. Welcome to this episode on releasing old heartbreak without losing hope. I love this because this is part of our theme of season 4, all about emotional healing to find love. You can go back to episode 37 to listen to why it's really important, especially if you've been struggling and seeing the same repeated patterns or attracting the same kind of guys over and over again, and you're over 40. It can be really frustrating. And that's why I love to help women who are 40 and fabulous and beyond who want to find Mr. Right, because it's absolutely possible. I found the love of my life when I was 44, and I've been doing this coaching thing for 17 years. So I understand what it takes to do that emotional healing in order to break those patterns and find the love you're looking for. Today, we're going to talk specifically around old heartbreak and specifically into what the past relationship pain looks like when it's still in your body, or how it disrupts your dating patterns and gets in the way of you finding the kind of love that you desire, the kind of love that feels like home. And that's what I want for you. Let's talk about a client of mine. She was holding on to a lot of feelings of resentment and betrayal of her ex-husband that made her afraid to trust again. And she was in a lot of pain, as obviously it is very emotional and painful to go through a divorce, and it is normal to be feeling lots of things. But if you are feeling like you're ready, or at the point where it's a certain amount of time later on, and there's no set amount of time, I do get asked, when should I start dating again after divorce? That's a whole other episode, but there's really no tried and true amount of time. It's when you feel ready, when you start to get that inkling, or that feeling in your heart, like, I feel like I want to put myself out there again, even though I'm afraid. And so she was at that point, but she had a lot of resentment and anger towards her ex-husband still. And being in constant contact with him because of their children, it made it really difficult for her to make choices in the dating world, in her love life, that felt empowering. And she was actually choosing men who were unavailable and having to chase after them and getting into that whole spiral. So we worked together to release the feelings of resentment, of anger, of rage, even from the past, so that she could be clear and available and welcome Mr. Right with open arms, to be able to break that pattern of chasing after love and let love in. She did find the love of her life, and they got married. It was just more than she could ever have hoped for and imagined. It was all because she did a lot of that emotional healing and then worked with the dating strategies and intentional empowered dating and all of the things that I teach around using your intuition and things like that. And she was able to meet the love of her life. I want you to know that it is possible for you, that you can get over old heartbreak, no matter what it is, whether it's from childhood or from past relationships or divorce or all of those things. It is possible. A lot of what I do is to give you that message and inspire you, because women that I work with or that are in my community, they often say, I don't know if love is just passed me by. I'm not even sure if there is love that's meant for me out there. The first thing I want to talk about, and it is part of the heartbreak, and that's why I'm bringing it up, it is a layer of the heartbreak, is that feeling of losing hope and feeling like this might never happen for me. Maybe it's just not in the cards and I should just give up. I want you to know that it is possible, that you can get intentional, you can release that heartbreak, you can start to heal. I've talked in past episodes about this. You don't have to be perfectly healed. There's not a thing where you have to get into perfectionism or overwhelm, or like, how much do I have to heal? How long is this going to take? Is it going to be another decade of healing? That's what I did, and I don't want you to be doing that, because you don't have to be perfectly healed in order to have love. You just have to start at a certain point, be at a certain level of healing, so that you can make new choices for yourself, that you can break those patterns and start creating new experiences. That's the only threshold you need to get to. Let's talk specifically of how old heartbreak lives in the body. There are some signs. You might have gone through this maybe what I mentioned earlier. It's like you keep dating and you're like, I want something different. And this time it's different, but this time it's different. I'll say that again. But this time it's different. And then it ends up being exactly the same. So it's different guy, but same experience. And it's like, okay, I'm just going around in circles here because this is the same dating experience, even though it's a different guy. That is one indication, and it's a major one, that you still have that old heartbreak living in your body and you're still kind of playing out what needs to be seen, what is in your body that needs to be acknowledged and released, that is keeping you on this merry-go-round. That's one big sign. Second sign is that you're very easily triggered by certain situations in dating. Maybe you're talking to someone on the dating apps and you're like, well, he seems really nice and he's cute and all these things. And then he says something and you're just like, whoa, what did he mean by that? How dare he say that to me? How could he even mention that? And just kind of going off from 0 to 60 on something that a guy has said. And I'm not saying to condone any bad behavior. I don't want you to be putting up with any garbage from guys on dating apps. That's by no means what I'm saying. But I'm telling you that if there's like a feeling that is way over what the situation is, then there is some heartbreak there that's still in your body, and that's an indication. For example, there's a guy on the app and he's having a conversation with you, and then he says, okay, let's go on a coffee date and I'm going to pick the spot. And then you're just like, how dare he? He didn't even ask me where I want to go. He didn't ask me if I want to make the decision. Why is he taking over? He's a control freak. And this is what I'm saying. So that's an example. And it's not to say, maybe he is a control freak. Maybe he is taking over. Maybe all those things are true, but your emotional reaction in your body and the feeling of rage and anger and feeling controlled and all of those things are from the past, from your heartbreak. So yes, you need to react in the moment authentically to how you're feeling. Like maybe that would annoy you. If that wasn't a trigger, maybe it would be like, I don't like that. I don't like a guy who's like that. That's fine. As opposed to being like, how dare he, getting into this whole spiral of rage and like he's just controlling and all that stuff. That is from the past. That's another sign that you can tell that old heartbreak lives in the body. Another way is just feeling like you're always feeling the same thing about someone, even though it's a different person. It's like maybe you're talking to 10 different guys, but you're feeling resentful or you're feeling invisible with all of them. It's like the same thing, even though they're different guys you're talking to. That's another sign. Those are the major ones that you can say, okay, do I have a lot of this old heartbreak in my body still? And just check in with yourself if any of those signs are true for you. The second part of this is why holding on to that heaviness emotionally, why it blocks your future love when you have those kind of triggers, or if you're only seeing through that filter of guys are controlling, or he's going to start taking over, or he doesn't even want to hear what I have to say and I never have a voice. So if you've got that kind of filter and things that have not been healed, then you're going to only see things a certain way. You're going to see them as something to be mistrustful about or suspicious about or to judge someone over. And again, this is very nuanced because I do teach how to use your intuition to find love. I want you to be thinking of these things when it comes to emotional blocks and having old heartbreak that is making your decisions for you, basically. This heartbreak is making the decisions for you. Do you want to make a decision from your heart or from your intuition or from what you feel is going to be your true heart's desires or something you truly want? Or are you going to let those old breaks or old wounds make your decision? Which you think would make the better decision? That's another way to look at it. What would make the better decision? My true self, my heart, my intuition, or this old experience, this pain, this heartbreak? I think you might want to say, I hope, your intuition and your heart is going to make the better choice. You need to clear the space so you can connect into yourself more easily. And that comes by releasing the old heartbreak. Some practical things that you can do on a regular basis is create these kind of habits and rituals around releasing heartbreak. And it's just one layer at a time. You don't have to be perfect. You're never going to get all of it out, but just make it a practice for yourself. Make it a beautiful integration of your daily practice. Maybe you do meditation. Maybe you do journaling every day. I love journaling more than anything. That is just my jam. It's the way I have released, the way I connect to myself, the way I get my wisdom, my insights. All of this is through journaling. And so I want you to regularly connect into your heart and ask yourself, how am I feeling? Is there a bit of heartbreak here? Is there a wound that needs to be held and acknowledged and witnessed and then let go of? And doing that on a regular basis. And it's very simple. It can be just a regular practice a couple times a week or every morning if you want to do it for 10 minutes. How am I feeling today? You could even go look at some of your dates. Like, I went on a coffee date. How is my heart feeling? Is there a bit of trigger there? Is there a bit of something that's there that feels like it's from the past? And just do some exploratory journaling. And then some of the releasing techniques I talked about in the last episode, you can go back and listen and do those. And also check my website, trulyeleanor.com. My everything page has got meditations. I have different courses that are available that will help you with this as well. And just make it a practice. This is about you and your future. This is about making choices from an empowered space. This is about allowing your intuition and your heart to speak to you. You have a desire for the kind of love that feels like home, that's harmonious. And this is possible, but it's only when you connect into your heart. And one of the barriers to really, truly connecting to your heart is having it full of old junk. But this can be a way to just do this systematically, easily, in terms of one thing at a time, one layer at a time, being present with yourself while you date. This is a perfect way to do it. I know that you can do this, and I'm so excited for you to start this journey in earnest because it is going to create new experiences for you. It's going to transform your dating life. You'll be amazed at when you do these seemingly simple or small exercises of what a big impact and difference it will make. All of a sudden, you'll see the different opportunities that are out there. Maybe you'll come across someone that you've never noticed before in your life, in your day-to-day life, where you're like, wow, I never noticed this guy before. And all of a sudden, he's been here all along. And he seems like he'd be perfect to go on a date with or to go have coffee with. Things become available to you. You start to see things differently. You start to see opportunities and possibilities in the realm of love. It's amazing. It's miraculous, but it's really just creating a whole new way of seeing things because you're going to be seeing from your heart. You're going to be seeing the world from a beautiful and lightened up heart and be able to connect into your intuition, and it will lead you down all of these beautiful paths to the love that you're looking for and a more empowered experience of dating. That is what is possible. That's what can happen from releasing old heartbreak. And by getting into this emotional healing, it's not going to make you feel worse. You're going to feel, you might feel the emotions and feel icky for a while or a day or two or an hour or whatever it is. But then on the other side of it, you're going to feel so much more open, so much more excited. You're going to be filled with hope and inspiration. And it's going to be like, wow, why did I wait so long to start doing this. That's what I know to be true, that when you start doing it, you're going to be like, wow, I am so happy I started doing this. I'm so excited for the future and what is available to me, and the future of my relationship with the man of my dreams, or the relationship of my dreams, is going to be coming through doing this emotional healing. I hope this has been helpful for you. And next episode, we're going to dive into stopping the self-sabotage spiral. One of my favorite topics, funnily enough, because I was just a self-sabotaging queen and I still have to watch myself. It's one of my Achilles heels. I love to talk about it and how I've transformed my love life through stopping the self-sabotaging spiral and what it actually looks like. I'm really excited to dive into that with you. And until next time, remember, love is closer than you think.